Hey guys, it's Cheryl with Magical Melody, and I'm here with my week 22 post-op VSG update. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on January 5th, 2017 with Dr. William Steele at Tenova Healthcare. And I always forget to tell you this, but I am 5'6.5", and my day of surgery, my highest weight ever was 250.4. Day of surgery, 241.4. And I'm currently 182.9. That is a total loss of, call it 3 pounds. Because the last week I was in here, which was last week on week 21, I was 185.8. So I'm 1 ounce away from losing a complete 3 pounds for the week. I am back on track since my mom left and everything, and I've gotten myself back on schedule with my vitamins. So everything is going well. This video is gonna kind of be a rant video, so if you don't want to hear any rants and gripes, then you might want to skip to the next one. Yeah, I noticed that whenever I was out of town staying at my mom's house, I happened to overhear the conversation in the front seat that was going on between my mom and a friend of ours, and they were trying to discuss where to eat out. So my mom suggested, I forgot what it was, I think some Chinese place or some kind of other Mexican place other than the one we had already been to, and he said, well, let's wait until she comes back through in August, because then she'll be able to eat whatever she wants to, and she won't have all these restrictions and stuff like that, you know. So she's like on the 6-month thing where she can't have certain meats and all that. I heard what was said, and I immediately said no. What I'm on is not just some crazy diet. You can't just have the surgery and then eat whatever you will want and expect to lose weight. I will always have to follow those guidelines for the rest of my life. That's why they make you, before you have surgery, get psychological testing and make you go through the nutrition classes and everything, to make sure that you're mentally ready for this, because it's a permanent, lifelong process. They can't give you your stomach back. And they can't help you if you screw up and regain the weight after you've had the surgeries. And he said, well, oh, I thought it was just like for 6 months or so, you know, or whatever. Yeah, for some of it, it is. Like, they tell me I'm not supposed to have beef and pork until I'm 6 months out, which, I'll be honest, I have already added beef and pork to my diet. And I found out that as long as it's cooked tender, and it's really soft, and I take my time chewing it, it goes down just fine. The only enemy that I have had so far is bread and broccoli. Broccoli has to be cooked longer than usual for me to be able to eat it, because I can't eat the steamed broccoli like that they have at Chinese restaurants, or like that they cook when you go out to eat. They just very lightly steam it and it's still pretty raw when it comes out. I can't eat it like that. It has to be cooked longer, and I have to tell the cooks, please cook the broccoli longer. Because in my vlog video, you'll notice that when me and my mom were at the Chinese, I had an issue where a piece of broccoli got stuck because it wasn't cooked enough. So that is one of my enemies. And also bread that is extremely doughy, and has just a mushy texture to it, I can't eat. I find that it actually hurts my stomach. It hurts. And same with the broccoli, it hurts. It makes it feel like that I have this bubble of gas in there or something. And that's not what it is. It's actually the food being lodged, and I have to sit there and choke it down and wait for it to go down. What I find works for me is just continue to swallow, because I have had a time or two outside of the broccoli and the bread where I have kind of not chewed my food as much as I thought I did, and it went down, but it gave me this unsettling feeling. It kind of made me feel nauseous for a couple of minutes, and so what I find that helps me is just to continue to swallow and just sit there and let it pass. It usually only takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes, you know, and then if I'm not full, I can go ahead and continue my meal after that. But yeah, it is like, make sure you chew your food well. But anyway, yeah, I cannot believe that he has said that to me. Well, you know, then you can eat whatever you want. And I said, well, you know, he said, I'll never have the surgery that you had, you know, because I'm not going to do this 6 weeks with no food and pureed diet and all liquids and 6 months this and 6 months that. That's bull. I'm not going to ever do it. And I said, well, okay, that's up to you, and I can't tell you what to do, but you're like 300 pounds. You're shooting yourself in the foot, because he also has the hernia issue and some ulcers and stuff. I said, see, if they went in to do your vertical sleeve, they would fix all that for you, plus give you your sleeve. So, I mean, I guess you got to choose what you're willing to live with. I would, you know, choose the other way. I get the surgery to help myself instead of suffer, because look at it this way. You're going to suffer either way. And right now what you're going through is a lot worse than what you would have to go through with sleeve or gastric bypass. You would just have to give up, you know, some of your favorite foods, but you would be healthier. So I don't really see the harm in that. You know, it's like, well, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that. I was like, well, you know, you do have to be mentally prepared for it, so maybe it's not for you, because you got this attitude that you just told me that I could eat whatever I wanted to after 6 months, and that's not the case at all. There's some things that I can't ever eat again, and I'm fine with that, because if I had to choose between where I just came from and this, I would gladly take this any day. If I had to go back through the surgery again tomorrow, I would do it. It is worth every bit of pain and agony that I had to go through. Every bit, 100% worth it. So, you know, that's one thing. And the other thing I wanted to rant about is I found out that my older daughter absolutely qualifies for bariatric surgery. She's got a lot of health issues. There's a lot going on. She's extremely overweight. And she is on an onset of diabetes. She may have PCOS. They don't really know yet. Like, she has the black ring around her neck, which her gynecologist said that's a sign of diabetes, because your body can't produce enough insulin, or because of PCOS. So she also wants her to go through an ultrasound. There was a time or two, because of some of the medications that she takes to help control her bipolar disorder, that it threw her thyroid off a little bit a couple of times. The first time that it threw it off, they took her off the lithium, and then we put her back on lithium, because I said, well, yeah, but you know what, they never told me the numbers, what the thyroid actually was, so I could check into it or talk to her doctor about it or anything. They just, you know, psychologists said, well, this is what it was, and, you know, has she ever had thyroid problems before? And of course I said no. So she said, all right, well, let's stop the lithium and let's try something else. And of course that something else didn't work. So we went back on the lithium. And then so as she was in the hospital, it's January, they found the thyroid was a little bit low again. And so it's probably because of the medications. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because since she's bipolar, I mean, she has to have the medications to help control some of that. And then she has been all her life suffering with this very chronic constipation issue. I saw my friend Amber on here talking about her situation. It reminded me of my older daughter. And, you know, so we were talking, and she said, well, the surgery would definitely help her and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, no, it would. But guess what? The insurance says that even though she has all this stuff that qualifies her for the surgery, they won't pay for the surgery until she's 18. So I'm like on the warpath, trying to look at maybe getting another insurance that can take primary for a while so that I can get her the surgery, because I know it will help her. And the weight issues that she has in her case are not just from my side of the family, they're from her father's side of the family as well. Type 1 diabetes runs in his family. His brother had a son that died at 19 because he was not much taller than Muriel, and maybe the same height, and he was pegging the scale at over 400 pounds and had a massive heart attack one day at work and died. It killed him. And so that's the kind of life that my daughter has to look forward to if I can't get her into surgery. She says, well, why do you want me to have it? I'm scared to have it because I've seen you, and I've seen my dad and everything, and I've seen how, you know, you have to, like, the way you have to eat and stuff like that. Like, I'm scared. And everything like that. And I said, yeah, me too. But I'm more scared for you if you don't have it. So she agreed with that. Because I don't want to see her with all the health problems that she's already got, plus other ones that are going to happen if she doesn't have it to get her weight down. So this is hereditary. You are going to be fighting with your weight for the rest of your life. And I don't want to see you that way. I want to see you live a healthier, happier, full life as an adult. And I don't want to see you go through what I did. I'm 37, and I have been fighting my entire life of my weight. I have been fighting it tooth and nail my whole life, and it's not fun. So I just cannot believe that an insurance company would have such ridiculous guidelines, because clearly she medically qualifies for the surgery. She has more than one comorbidity, plus the fact that her BMI is over 40. She would qualify, hands down. You're going to deny somebody something that is going to help them medically because of their age? I'm just so upset about it every time I think about it. So if you guys would, please put prayers and some positive energy and whatnot out there for my daughter, because, and for me, so I don't end up biting somebody's head off. To try to get her the surgery, and pray for us a way to get that for her, because she really needs it in the worst way. I mean, because no matter what I do, she just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I just don't know. But, other than that, though, I mean, I just can't believe some people actually think that I can just eat whatever I want and lose weight. That's not quite true. I can get away with eating some things, like, a couple of bites here and there, or something like that. Like, I do allow myself to have, like, 1 or 2 potato chips if my kids are having some, or, I have, like, a bag of pretzels in my cabinet that I've been working on for the last 4 months, and then they're just a bag of pretzels, and I just take, like, 1 or 2, or, 3 of them out of the pack and eat it. It's just to get a crunch out of it and everything. I mean, everybody says, oh, moderation, moderation. Well, what is moderation? You know what I'm saying? Well, just cut the serving in half, And I was like, yeah, but still, you got to look at how many carbohydrates, how many calories, what all the product that you're eating has. Can you have half of a serving and be okay? You have to, you have to work up the numbers. You got to really think about what you put in your mouth. It's a process. I mean, never before in my life, before my surgery, had I really ever been that concerned about what the nutrition facts on the back of a box said. I just got it, and I ate it, and I really didn't think about it, except for the times that I did try to diet, which, every time I did slip up, because of my lack of knowledge and my lack of reading information, sometimes I would say, well, I don't understand why I'm putting all this weight back on. What am I doing? Well, had I read the box, you know, all the nutrition facts, and sometimes the ingredients can play a role, I probably would have found out why I was putting the weight back on. But I mean, as a excuse me, as a carb addict, a carb addicted individual, you know, we're always so quick to just shove anything in our mouth that tastes good without considering the consequences before. What the surgery has done for me is it's made me sit back and watch what I'm doing. It's made me sit back and realize the consequences of my actions. Whereas before I didn't really have that discipline. And every time I would try to go on like a low carb diet or stuff like that, I would not be able to actually stay with it, because the vegetables and all the stuff that's good for you, I just felt like I could eat and eat and eat and eat and eat it and never get full. As soon as I put a piece of bread or something in my body that had a lot of carbs, I like, oh, finally I'm stuffed, I'm full. Oh man, you know, it was those carbs that my body craved. But now my eating habits have changed. Like, the things that I want to eat, things that I crave, are quite different than they used to be. I don't really crave sugar. Sometimes I want to taste something sweet. Sometimes I want the sweet taste. But that's not the same as a craving. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I can blow off. Like, a lot of times I had this head hunger and I'll be thinking, wow, I want this. But I'll get busy doing something else and I'll completely forget about that thing that I wanted. Like last night, I was in the kitchen and I was getting stuff for my older daughter. And she needed like medication, something to drink or whatever it was. Well, I was thinking about having a cheese stick. I wanted, you know, a string cheese. But I didn't do it. I just forgot about it. You know, so like I'm able to sit and blow off head hunger, and it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't bother me anymore. Whereas before, I absolutely would not be able to turn that off, and I would have gone for whatever it was that I wanted. Even if it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I would have eaten it. But, you know, the craving that I would have had before for the head hunger would have been sugar related, or it would have been potato chips or something like that. But now it's like string cheese, nuts, vegetables. I love to eat salad. I always love salad, but I love to eat it more now, because I don't know if what I'm gonna say makes any sense, but eating salad actually makes me feel good. It gives me this good feeling. I don't know what it is, the nutrients in the salad or whatnot. It gives me a lot of energy. It just gives my body food that it needs, I guess. And I actually love to eat salad. Every time we go to the army post here to do anything, I always stop by the coffee bar and I get me a coffee and I get me a spinach salad. And I eat the green stuff out of it first before I eat anything else. The reason I do that is, if you're like me, greens like lettuce or spinach or kale or any of that stuff is a slider food for me. I can eat it and eat and eat it. Things that fill me up faster are things like meats, eggs, anything that's breaded or any kind like that, you know, nuts, raisins, which this salad has boiled eggs and cranberries in it. It has like some pieces of chicken and a mushroom in there. So what I do is I eat a lot of the greens first, and then I go for the other stuff that's in the salad. That could be a tip for you if you're going out to eat and you were invited out to eat, you know, by some of your friends, and you're afraid that you're only going to be able to eat a bite or two of your food and look like this asshole that didn't want to eat. What you could do is order a salad and be able to actually eat a little bit more of it, as opposed to a regular plate of food. I can get more salad down than I can anything else. But I mean, you know, that's okay, because I mean, my body likes those nutrients that it gets from it, because I can always tell every time I eat one how good I feel after. And then I don't get this overly full feeling from it either. I feel satisfied. So, it's good. And, anyway, I mean, I'm just blown away, basically, by a 3-pound loss for the week. I think that's absolutely amazing. I did not expect that for this week. I thought I was only going to lose like a pound or two. And up until today, it was that way. And I have officially decided to make my weekly weigh-in day on Fridays, because it's like it was last week with it last Friday. It's exactly the same way, and that's been a pattern for, I would say, the last 6 or 8 weeks, where every time I would weigh in on a Thursday, Friday or Saturday, I would get on the scale and be a whole pound or 2 lighter than I was that Thursday weigh-in. So that's frustrating. So for that reason, I'm gonna switch to Fridays, because for whatever reason, I think my body tends to lose more of the weight during the weekend, or at the end of the week, or on, you know, like Mondays. So anyway, I'm gonna do that. I decided today, because I got on the scale and I saw that. Because what I did is last night I got on, and it said I was 183.4. But then this morning I got on, and lo and behold, it said 182.9. I know that's only a few ounces difference, but you know, I'm a stickler. I want to make sure that all the numbers that I'm writing down and things I'm keeping track of are copacetic and that they're accurate, you know, so I can get the best results. So, yeah. But anyway, you know, actually, I don't know, I'm just blown away. I'm so close to hitting goal. I'm only 32 pounds away from goal. My goal weight is 150, and I've only got 32 more pounds. At the rate that I'm going, I would say that very easily I would be at 150 by September, if not before. I seem to be losing somewhere between 10 to 15 pounds a month. Now, I really haven't done the math to back that up, but I think it's somewhere around that, because I left for my out-of-town trip on May the 10th. But my month would have been, you know, from May the 5th through June the 5th. So I think my surge anniversary weigh-in was like 192-ish, if I'm not mistaken. So that was 12 pounds. Well, no, wait a minute. 182.9. Yeah, so that's exactly 10 pounds for my month. I think I'm right. So, I can't think today. You guys ought to forgive me. But anyway, I've just been absolutely swamped with everything. When I got back home, I walked into more issues. When I left for out of town, I left a lot of issues and stuff like that. Just a lot of, it's mostly behavioral issues, because my older daughter is autistic. My youngest daughter is autistic. My older daughter also has bipolar. My middle daughter has ADHD. So, I mean, I have children who have other issues than what some other kids might have, so that makes it a lot harder for me to deal with than somebody else. It's very stressful. So, no, I didn't mention this before, but I go to my therapist every other week to help me work through some of those stresses and to help me have somebody to talk to. Sometimes it just helps to have somebody to talk to that is professional and who has professional knowledge, and they know how they can help you. Because, I mean, before my surgery, I absolutely dealt with stress eating and emotional eating, and I refuse to sit back and let that become a problem for me again, because it's my ultimate goal to keep this weight off for the rest of my life. So seeing the factor of my weight loss and how quickly things are happening, I'm probably gonna start, I'm not gonna start any process or anything like that right now, but I'm gonna start the research on trying to look into where I'm going to be having my plastic surgeries to remove extra skin and whatnot. Though I have extra skin in some places now, but I'm sure that as these last 32 pounds come down, it's going to be more so. And I already know that I'm going to need a 360, a tummy tuck, you know, one of those 360s, I forget what they call it, lift and muscle repair, because I've had 3 children. And so from that, on top of the weight loss, I have this massive apron and stuff like that that just is absolutely not going to go away unless I have it removed. I do have some under my arms that will need to be removed. It still feels kind of thick, so it might have a little bit of fat in there. And I'm also very thankful because I'm not pointing any fingers at anyone, because everybody is different, but I have seen some people have worse hanging skin under the arms, so that is one thing I can be thankful of, that mine is not that bad. But I just, for me, I guess I would still maybe want to try to have it removed, because, you know, I have dreamed of having a healthy, attractive looking body. And one of the goals that goes toward the kind of body that I'm trying to achieve is not having skin hanging all over me. So, and not having saggy breasts. My breasts have always sagged. Even before any of this, even before I had my kids, they sagged. Then as I had my children, they sagged more. From weight gain and from losing it and weight gain and losing again and everything like that, they've sagged more. So unless I'm wearing a bra, my boobs are hanging all the way down here. So, you know, it's a lot, you know, but I'm just the type of person where I always strive to have better than what I've got, and I'm not gonna, you know, walk around the rest of my life looking like that, because I just deserve better. But anyway, you know, that's my take on plastic surgery. But I'm going to start doing some research and seeing the best place that I could go to have it done, because I'm also looking at what is going to be financially at my best interest and at my family's best interest, and stuff like that, and like do some pricing and some checking around. I have heard of some people going to Tijuana, Mexico, and having their plastic surgeries done there and having not only great success, but also was tons cheaper than it would have been here. And also another good place to go that I've heard of is Thailand, and stuff like that. So I'm going to be, you know, just checking into stuff, you know, and looking around. I would just like to look and see what everybody has to offer, what their prices are, what their guidelines are, any process that I have to go through, because I figure, like, the sooner I can start to research, the better things will be for me when I do go to actually plan my skin removal and plastic surgeries. So my goal is to have it done at least 1 to 2 years after my surgery. Whether that's going to happen or not, nobody knows, but I like to set goals for myself like that, because I find that when I do, I get more done. I actually accomplish things, whereas if I don't set goals and things like that, you know, I just don't set my mind to it, and it just doesn't get done. And my next goal for my weight loss is going to be, I'd like to reach 179 by the end of June. And I'll say somewhere around between the 25th and 27th of June, I would like to be 179, because that will get me over the 180 hump, and that will make me less than 30 pounds away from goal. So from there, my next mini goal would be just mini steps, like 175 and then 160, you know. So right now I hope that, I know I said in my goals that I wanted to reach 150 at least by December 31st, but with the rate that I'm losing the weight as fast as it's coming off, I would be safe to say I could probably put this out there that I'm hoping that it'll happen by September. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go do some work on the swimming pool. All you pool subscribers, you're probably gonna see an update on that either later today or tomorrow. And there was a short pool update that was included in my family blog that I made and put up this weekend. It was just like a short 5-minute thing, and some of my kids playing in there and stuff. So, but anyway, be looking out for that pool update. And until next time, have a great weekend. If you're new, please subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. Peace.